Hey, what's up, cousins? Welcome back to the channel. Sorry I had y'all waiting. I did not realize I was actually going live. I was supposed to be pre-recording, and then I got a phone call and from this wonderful woman checking up on me, Granny Karma, and we just sitting here chatting and stuff. And I'm like, I look up and I see Sherry in the comments, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this thing had me on here as if I was going live. So now I'm forced to do a live. So I didn't want to end it. How are y'all today? Welcome in. So there is a lot going on. Hey Jen, how are you? We live, girl. We live. We're gonna have to change the title of my video and add something to it. But the first story is crazy because I've never heard of this illness. I'm gonna say illness because I'm gonna have to mind my words when talking about certain things, because I don't want YouTube to take my video down or strike me or whatever they're gonna do. So what this thing that's out here, they say that they really don't know how it spreads, but that they have figured out that it can spread from animal to human. So yes, we have a illness out here that does spread from animal to human. So let's go to that first one. I think I have that one first. Let me see. Yeah. Okay, so this happened in Alaska. Alaska man is first reported person to not be here anymore from something called Alaska pox virus. Exposure may be linked to stray cats. And there's your animal to human transmission right there. I'm not going to, should I play that? Because they might take it down. I might play it at the end. So I'll just read it first in case they make me delete that part out later, because they do that. They do that on YouTube. I could put a video up and then they're like, okay, you're going to need to take this out or take the whole video down. Okay, so it says, I'm sorry, my voice is gone. An elderly man in Alaska has died from Alaska pox. The first known fatality from the recently discovered virus. Have y'all heard of it? Let me know in the comments. So I'll come back to the comments and I'll check and see what y'all said. State health officials have said it's unclear how the man contracted the virus, but officials say it's possible that it could be linked to a stray cat that lived with him. The man who lived in a remote Kenai Peninsula was hospitalized last November and died in late January. And I guess they're just now releasing what he died from. The man was undergoing cancer treatment and had a suppressed immune system because of the drugs, which may have contributed to his severity of his illness. But I don't know. Well, anyway, it gets deeper. Alaska pox is also known as AKPV. It is related to smallpox, cowpox, and mpox. And if you don't know what mpox is, recently the CDC, well, no, not the CDC. Recently, the WHO, the World Health Organization, renamed monkeypox. You guys, I did like 2-3 stories on monkeypox last year or the year before. They've renamed it to mpox. Symptoms can include a rash, swollen lymph nodes, and joint or muscle pain. Immunocompromised people might be at risk for more severe illnesses. There are only 6. Baby, hear me the drink over there. My throat is really dry. Thank you. Only 6 other cases of the virus have been reported to Alaska health officials since the first one, and this was in 2015. Thank you.
You want your sandwich over there too?
Sure.
You want it?
Oh, that's for me?
Yeah.
That's fine. Thank you. My baby made me a Valentine's Day sandwich.
Whatever. It's a daily sandwich.
It's a daily sandwich. Okay, let me get serious. So, again, only 6 other cases of the virus have been reported to Alaska health officials since the first one in 2015. All involved people were living in the Fairbanks area, more than 300 miles from the Kenai Peninsula. All had mild cases and recovered without being hospitalized, except for this man. The man who died resided alone in a forested area and reported no travel and no close contacts with recent travel, illness, or similar lesions. So, is the lesions come with this too, like with the mpox? Ooh, child, it's always something. It's unclear how AKPV is transmitted, but researchers say it may be zoonotic, meaning it can jump from animals to humans. The bulletins said that tests found evidence of current or previous infection in several species of small mammals in the Fairbanks area, including redback voles and at least one domestic pet, I'm assuming is a cat. The man said he had cared for a stray cat at his home. The cat tested negative for the virus, but it regularly hunted small mammals and frequently scratched the patient. Wow. Oof. Golly. That opens the possibility that the cat had the virus on its claws when it scratched him. The bulletin said a notable scratch near the armpit area where the first symptom, a red lesion, was noted. And they're showing it here in this picture. Let me see if I can make it bigger. Well, y'all probably can see that. Can y'all see that? Do y'all need me to make that bigger? What are y'all saying over here? We got some more people who have come in. Welcome in. Please hit the like button as you enter. I have another story after this as well. This just was like, I've never heard of this before. I've never heard of Alaska pox. Hey, Patricia. That is some scary stuff, right, Jen? And when you think about it, we have pets. Like we have a puppy now, and they go outside and you don't know what they pick up on their paws, child. I guess we need to be definitely cleaning those when they come in. Hey, Carol. Jason's in here. Right. Here we go again, Joshua. Here we go again. You're right, Jason. And it's always something. Yeah, y'all listen to Jen. Hit that like button. Old as dirt. I love that name. That's how I be feeling sometimes. Carol. Carol from Hudson. It says the route of exposure is in this case remains unclear. Although scratches from the stray cat represent a possible source, I would think it's the only source. If he hasn't been out of, the country or anything like that, he hasn't been around anybody. Only thing or person he's been around is that cat. I would think that was the source. Health officials said there hasn't been any documented cases of humans passing on the virus, but they urge caution for people with skin lesions. We advise individuals with skin lesions potentially caused by Alaska pox to keep the affected area covered with a bandage and avoid sharing bedding or other linens that have come into contact with those lesions. Health authorities also urge Alaskans to follow federal health precautions when around wildlife to avoid potential Alaska pox infections. So it must be like really rampant, really rampant there. The the CDC recommends washing your hands with soap and water and after contacting wild animals or their feces. I mean, that should be common sense, but I guess, just leave that alone. Hunters should also wear gloves when handling dead animals, even if they are freshly killed. The news comes as health officials in Oregon recently confirmed a rare case of human plague in a resident who was likely infected by their pet cat. What is going on? Wait a minute. I didn't read the story before I came to y'all. This is making me scratch. Anyway, let me get it together. A rare case of human plague. Should I click on that to see what they're talking about? I'm scared to do it. No, I'm not scared of anything, but that makes me a little nervous. Oh my God. Let's click it and see where it takes us. Let's just fall on down the rabbit hole. Lordy. Wait a minute, Jesus. And now to the person who said, I'm calling the Lord's name in vain. No, we need him, honey. We need him. This is some crazy stuff. Don't you think we need Jesus? We need the Lord right now. We talking about plagues. We talking about, I'm interested to see what y'all saying. I got it before I read this. I didn't even know this existed, you guys. When was this posted? February 13th, yesterday. Wow. Okay, let me see what y'all saying. This is absolutely crazy. Hey, Kevin. This is unreal. Like, I did not know this story was going to go where it's going. I don't even know what this right here is going to say. But this right here, what does it say? Plague. Oh, God. Oh, let me stop doing that. What'd you say? Oh, she had my glasses on. Bubonic plague. Sandy. Hey, Cassie. Insane. Okay. Let's see what they're talking about. Because I have a whole nother story that I'm supposed to be doing. I might not get to it. Let me see. Hopefully this doesn't take me to another thing. Rare Oregon plague case caught from a cat. Rare Oregon plague. What you need to know, symptoms and how it spreads. Let's get to it. It's right there. Y'all see this? Rare case of human bubonic plague identified. I told you I didn't want this link to link me to something else, but there's another link right there, y'all. Oh, Jesus. Health officials in, was it Deschutes? Something like that. Deschutes County, Oregon, confirmed a rare case of human plague in a local resident last week. When was this? Okay, 13. Marking the first reported case in the state since 2015, officials said the individual was likely infected by their pet cat which showed symptoms of the disease. All close contacts of the residents and their pet have been contacted and provided medication to prevent illness. I wonder what kind of medication they're giving them. I'm not clicking on news release. No additional plague cases have emerged during the investigation, said officials in a mostly rural county in Central Oregon. Fortunately, this case was identified and treated in the early stages of the disease, posing little risk to the community. Though bubonic plague may sound like something out of the history books, this isn't the first time in recent years we've seen the disease pop up in the United States. Open borders, open borders, open borders. Should I say anything else? It says in 2020, California reported its first case of plague in 5 years. Officials said at the time that the patient, a resident of the South Lake Tahoe area, was recovering at home. 2 fatal cases were reported in Colorado in 2015. While reports of the plague can be scary.
Do you have tissue?
No.
He said you had some.
They taking you to work at 2?
Probably.
I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all forgive me. Okay. We got a whole pantry in the basement. But my child chooses to come to my room to get tissue when they could have just went downstairs and got tissue from the long-term pantry. Y'all. What are y'all? Let's go back to the story. Did I unmute myself? Yeah, I did. Okay. I don't know where I was. 2 fatal cases were reported in Colorado in 2015. While reports of the plague can be scary and the disease can be serious, experts say there's little cause for concern for most people. Plague is a disease caused by Yersinia pestis, a bacterium found in rodents and their fleas. In the Middle Ages, the plague caused tens of millions of deaths across Europe in a series of outbreaks known as the Black Death. And I'm not clicking on the Black Death because we're going to keep clicking on stuff. Oh my gosh. While the bacterial infection is still around today, it is far more rare in modern times and can be treated. There are 3 types of plague. Septis, y'all forgive me. Why are they showing this woman with a mustache? Okay. Septismic, pneumonic, and bubonic. Okay, I got through that. Which is the most common form, accounting for around 80% of cases in this country. The CDC says 496 cases of plague were documented in the U.S. between 1970 and 2020. 2020. With almost all occurring in the West and Southwest. More than half of the cases were reported in New Mexico, followed by smaller numbers in Colorado, Arizona, California, and Oregon. How is the plague transmitted? People typically get the plague after being bitten by an infected flea or handling an infected animal. Squirrels, mice, and rats, prairie dogs, chipmunks. Never seen a chipmunk. Voles and rabbits. Wild carnivores can become infected by eating other infected animals. Cats and dogs can also lead to human infections. Cats are particularly susceptible to getting sick and have been linked to several cases of human plague in the U.S. via respiratory droplets in recent decades. Health officials say symptoms of plague usually start to appear 2 to 8 days after a person was exposed to an infected animal or flea. In some cases, pneumonic plague can spread when an infected person coughs, causing infectious droplets to spread. This is the only type of plague that can be transmitted between people. The symptoms depend on what type of plague someone is infected with. Bubonic plague, a key symptom is painful, swollen lymph nodes in the groin or armpits called buboes. Other common symptoms include fever, weakness, coughing, and chills. The majority of cases seen in the U.S. are this type. Septicemic plague. Septicemic plague occurs when the bacteria gets into the bloodstream. Patients may develop fever, chills, extreme weakness, abdominal pain, shock, and possibly internal bleeding. Skin and other tissues, especially on your fingers, toes, and the nose, may turn black and die. I'm sorry, y'all. The CDC explains that an infection may start out as septicemic plague, or it can develop if a case of bubonic plague goes untreated. So bubonic plague, they're saying, can turn into septicemic plague if it's not treated. Pneumonic plague, untreated bubonic or septicemic, this word keep killing me, septicemic plague can develop in the pneumonic plague, which spreads to the lungs. Okay, so the other two can lead to pneumonic, but only the bubonic can lead to the septicemic. Okay, I got it. These patients may develop fever, headache, weakness, pneumonia, shortness of breath, chest pains, coughs, and sometimes bloody or watery mucus. Pneumonia could cause respiratory failure and shock. This type of plague is considered the most serious form of the disease with a high fatality rate. But yet the guy, never mind. The guy died of the Alaska pox. Something totally different. But apparently we have bubonic plague again. So you can treat plague with antibiotics, says the CDC, but the earlier the better to improve chances for full recovery. To prevent high risk of death in patients with pneumonic plague, antibiotics should be given as soon as possible, preferably between 24 hours of the first symptoms. But if you're not diagnosed and you just think you have a fever or whatever, then most likely you're going to miss that timeline of the antibiotics even helping you. Why do you keep flashing this lady with this mustache? I'm sorry, y'all. Small stuff just bother me. The bubonic type has a case fatality ratio of 30 to 60%, according to the World Health Organization. Pneumonic plague, when left untreated, is always fatal, and death can occur within 18 to 24 hours. Like I said, if you don't think, you just think you have a regular fever, whatever, you're under the weather, and you don't get diagnosed and get your antibiotics or whatever you need, you trying to tell me I can be gone in 18 to 24 hours? It says, let me see. I don't want to read that. So the key for clinicians is suspecting plague in the first place, obtaining the right specimens to make the diagnosis, and initiating the treatment even before the diagnosis is made. As soon as you suspect it, you should start treating while the evaluation is ongoing. I guess so, because if you don't, you gone. You're no longer on this earth. How do you keep your pets from exposing you to plague? Keep fleas off your pets, because fleas can transmit not only the plague but also other infections. You can do this by applying flea control products, letting your pets roam freely, particularly in parts of the western U.S. where plague is endemic. Um, Also increases their risk of exposure, but it goes beyond preventing fleas. Cats can also get the plague by eating infected rodents and can transmit the plague to people through the air too. So, okay, airborne, airborne, airborne. The CDC recommends not allowing dogs or cats to roam outdoors in affected areas to sleep in your bed. Other steps you can take to prevent you and your family from coming up with this stuff: reducing the rodent habitats around your home, workplace, and other areas, using insect repellent if you may be exposed to rodent fleas during activities like hiking or working outdoors. Well, you need that for tick cover anyway when you're going in like wooded areas and stuff, because no one wants Lyme disease. But this is worse. And I heard that Lyme disease it hits your body really, really hard, but this is worse. This is death. Wearing gloves whenever handling potentially infected animals. Other diseases can also be transmitted in similar ways. Now they're talking about the man in Alaska again that contracted the virus known as Alaska pox, possibly from a scratch from a cat. This is all too much. This is insane. I can't even get to my other story. I'm gonna have to do that separate because that story doesn't even go with this one, because this one led to like a whole rabbit hole of situations that I was not expecting today. Please. Okay, that's about the in Oregon. That's just repeating what you need to do to not hopefully get the bubonic plague. Y'all, really? Hit the wrong thing. Okay, let's go to these comments because I got to get out of here. Let's go up. I remember years ago when my husband and I owned a childcare center, and it wasn't in the best of areas, but it was in downtown Columbia, but it was like the north part of town. So it wasn't the central part of town. And it was like these apartments across the street from it. And I remember one, because we on the weekends we would go and do like thorough cleans. Like we clean all week, but on the weekends, on Saturdays, we would go and do like a deep clean of the daycare. Well, that week we had been having issues because the people in the apartments across the street now, not on the same side of the street, they had fleas. How did we know they had fleas? Because if you stepped your foot out of your car, they jumped all over you. They were in the street. That is how bad it was. I don't know if they had like a bunch of cats in the house, a bunch of dogs in the house, whatever they had in that apartment. I had to call, who did I call? The health department or somebody. And I was like, I'm having an issue because, I have clients, they're coming with their kids. Some of them park on the street. Like, it wasn't like if you pulled into our driveway or, in front of the building, there was no issue. But if you parked on the street and you got out, there was an issue. And then the fact that if they parked on the street and they got out, guess what? They're bringing it into my daycare. So that's what happened. I had to lose a whole day's work to close down. I think we closed it that Friday. And from that Friday to that Sunday, we was bombing that place. We was bombing that daycare, which means we had to do a deep clean, more than a deep clean that we would be doing regularly. And when I tell you, I stepped foot that Friday, we closed it that Thursday. I stepped foot out the car because, like I said, it was kind of in the hood. So we had a gate that we would have to unlock to open for us to be able to drive through. So my husband was driving. I got out as usual, not thinking it's in the street. Well, not thinking it's over there where we are. I stepped my foot out of the car. Well, both. I stepped out and I lost it. They were all over my legs. I mean, I had on pants, but they were all over my legs. And I was just like freaking out, screaming and stuff. I know people I thought I was crazy, but you know, we had spray on us. So he sprayed himself before he got out of the vehicle. And then he came and sprayed me. I stepped into the daycare and they literally were in, because it don't take long for one flea to turn into 1,000 of them. They were just, I had to run out of the center. That's how bad it was, y'all. When I tell you, that was the worst experience I ever had working in childcare. And it was my childcare business. And it took us all weekend, but we got them out. We got everything cleaned, sanitized. I mean, it was insane. I've never had that experience in my life. And to hear now that, you know, you could get this stuff from a flea. What's next? Let's say, hey, Tony. Okay, yeah, you said it was. Michelle. You take elderberry tinctures. Do you make your own or do you just buy it? Hey, Renee. Renee said, y'all stay safe. Janet says, hey, Tommy. Oh, happy Valentine's Day. I keep forgetting it's Valentine's Day. My husband gonna come here fussing at me because I have not eaten a sandwich yet. He made it so big. It's a ham and, can you see that? Ham and cheese. Yep. Gloria. Yep. Oh, you make your own. Awesome. That is awesome. We're going to all need to be making some kind of tincture with everything that's popping up in the universe right now. So, y'all, that was the one story that turned into two different stories. Okay, so if you are late getting here, please watch it from the beginning. But I'll tell you a little snippet is that there was a man in Alaska who passed away from something called Alaska pox. It's related to, like, similar to the monkeypox, which has been renamed. They now call it mpox. Let me see. I lost it. I can't find it, but go back to the beginning of the video and you'll see me talking about that. So I'm going to go, you guys, but I'll be back later today with a video at between 4 and 5 o'clock. So if you haven't turned your notifications on, please turn your notifications on. I do try to post more than one video a day. I did actually did a meal video this morning that none of y'all watched. Let me stop. But that's okay. I know some people want me to do it over here. I do it on my other channel, but I did it over here too. And then this one, and I have another one later. So y'all, I will see you in the next video. Thank y'all for coming in. I appreciate all of you, Sandy, Trudy, and Witch of the Wildness. Sophia's in here. Definitely Jen, my girl. Michelle. Obi, how you doing, Obi? Naomi. Tony.
I need you to put my other clothes in the dryer.
Okay, you about to take T to work?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know that.
Right here?
No, my wallet's in the car.
Oh,
Upstairs.
oh, that's that thing.
Oh well. No.
It's in my car. You go to my car?
Yeah.
Renee and Janet, how are y'all? Happy Valentine's Day if y'all celebrated. If not, I mean, we need to be spreading love every day. That's why I always say that every day. Coming in. Yes, thank you, Old as Dirt. Okay, come on now with the name. I love it. Thank you, Sam. Have a blessed day too. Carol, will your husband build me some cabinets? Next county over. He need to finish building mine, girl. He about to get back on that road. Well, he been on the road. His truck been fixed, so he been on the road, but he been coming home. But I think he about to leave out either tonight or tomorrow. Hey, Charlotte. Okay, y'all. I'll see y'all in the next video. Okay, y'all take care. Remember, hit the like button if you haven't. Share this video out. Listen with your family and your friends and let them know it's some strange things going on out here. Okay. Some of these things are airborne. Some of these things are skin to skin. That's why they're saying cover it up. I don't know if covering it up is going to help you if you got it and you go out somewhere. I don't know. Ugh, made me want to put gloves on. Just push a cart in the store. Let me stop. Y'all, I'll talk to y'all later. I love you guys. I appreciate y'all. But God truly loves you more. He created only one you. Be the best you that you can be. And when you are, go out and spread God's love. Peace, love, and light. And spread it more than just Valentine's Day, okay? Peace, love, and light. Thanks for being here on TOMMYBITES Homestead.